All right, everybody, buckle up. Today, we are diving into some serious political drama.
Yeah, this is juicy.
This whole Republicans for Harris thing.
You know, I love it when these lines get blurred. It's like, what? It's like, are you kidding me?
Exactly. And, to unpack all of this, we are diving into some spicy commentary. Senator Lindsey Graham, he had some strong opinions about who Republicans should be backing in this election.
Definitely a lot to unpack there. And, this kind of reveals, I think, a lot about what's going on under the surface in the Republican Party.
Oh, for sure.
Especially as we head into this really unpredictable election year. We are seeing some unusual alliances forming.
Absolutely. So Lindsey Graham, he did not hold back.
No, he did not.
He straight up asked Republicans who are even considering supporting Kamala Harris, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that got my attention.
Can you believe that?
Strong words.
He even went as far as to call her policies radical. We are talking, Green New Deal.
Big ticket items.
Medicare for up.
Yeah, huge policies with far-reaching implications.
And he called them radical.
Right, and these are policies that have been, really central to progressive Democrats.
Yeah.
For a number of years now, and so it's interesting to see that kind of language being used in this context, because what he's essentially doing is...
That's fighting words.
It is. It's saying, look, if you're a Republican and you're supporting these policies, what are you doing in this party?
It's like he's saying, are you lost?
Yeah.
Come on back. This is where we stand.
Exactly. So I think he's really trying to draw a line in the sand here.
Yeah.
And appeal to that, that base of the Republican Party that might be, maybe considering some of these other candidates.
Yeah. It's really interesting, too, because it makes you think, how much does disagreement with a candidate's policies play into party loyalty? Like, is it more important to vote against those policies, even if you might actually agree with some of the things that the opponent is doing?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
It is a tough question.
And I think it's one that a lot of voters are grappling with right now.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to say, I'm a diehard Republican or I'm a diehard Democrat. But when the candidates and the policies don't necessarily perfectly align with, with your own personal beliefs, that's when things get tricky.
Oh, yeah. And Graham really went there when he tied Harris to what he called the disasters of the Biden administration.
Right.
He specifically called out the Afghanistan withdrawal and inflation, saying her fingerprints are all over this.
Yeah, so he's really trying to make that connection.
Big time.
Between Harris and what he sees as the failures, the shortcomings of the Biden administration. And it's interesting because he uses these very emotionally charged phrases, right? Disaster, garbage policies, he said that a lot. Garbage policies. He really wants that to stick in your head.
He does.
And I think this is a really deliberate strategy because, when you're talking about politics, you can appeal to people's logic, you can present facts and figures, but often it's the emotions, it's that gut reaction that really drives people's decisions in the voting booth.
Absolutely. So he's going for the gut punch, and then he brings up Trump's enemy from within comments about Democrats. Do you remember this?
Oh, how could we forget?
It was a whole thing.
Right, and it really ignited a firestorm at the time.
Yeah, and it's interesting, though, that Graham kind of sidesteps those comments.
Yeah, he does.
He really focuses on this idea that voters are just craving change, that they're looking for something different from the current administration.
Right, so he's not denying those comments, but he's choosing not to dwell on them.
Right.
And I think that might be a very calculated decision.
Yeah.
Because, those comments were divisive. They were controversial.
Very much so.
And he's trying to, I think, present a more unified front here.
Right.
And so he focuses on what he sees as the stronger argument.
Yeah.
Which is that people are unhappy with the direction of the country.
They want something different.
Yeah, they want something different.
Okay, so to make things even juicier,
even spicier,
he brings up this moment where Harris is asked if she would do anything differently.
Okay.
And her response, nothing comes to mind.
Wow. Bold.
Was that a smart move?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, on the one hand, you could interpret that as, she's confident.
Yeah, she's like, I stand by my decision.
She's consistent.
Yeah.
She's not going to waver.
Right.
But, the flip side of that is that it could be perceived as a lack of flexibility.
Yeah.
A lack of, willingness to learn from maybe past mistakes.
Yeah.
And so it's really going to depend on how that message is received.
Right.
How it's spun in the media, how her opponents use it.
It's all about the spin.
Yeah.
Because you know they're going to use it
Oh, absolutely.
to their advantage if
Yeah.
they can.
It'd be the foolish not to.
So this whole thing, it really makes you wonder, are we going to see more Republicans publicly backing Harris?
That is the big question, isn't it?
It-
I mean, we have one very vocal senator here.
Right.
But is this indicative of a larger trend?
Yeah.
Are we going to see more Republicans breaking ranks, so to speak?
Yeah.
And if so, what kind of impact is that going to have?
Yeah. And I think, we're seeing just the tip of the iceberg here
Exactly.
and understanding these tensions, these strategies.
The undercurrents.
Yeah, it's crucial for us to kind of wrap our heads around this election because it is shaping up to be a wild ride
Fasten your seatbelts.
because who knows what's next.
I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
Me too. And with that, folks, keep your eyes peeled for those endorsements. They might just tell us where the wind is blowing.
They might just be the tea leaves that we need to read
Exactly.
to figure out what's going to happen in this crazy election.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.